What's up, everybody? It's another quick video. I was just on the tube and I was watching this video. This individual talking about the Bulldogs and the Nortenos and the Feds. Now let me get something straight with everybody. First of all, this dude never been in the Feds. This dude's a dropout. This dude isn't no Bulldog, but he's always talking like he knows what's going on. Okay? Now I'm gonna let everybody know right now, the feds and the state are two different things. No, the feds ain't about unity and the state isn't about money, like he said. The feds and the state, you still locked up doing time. The only difference is in the feds, you got different enemies. For one, you got the DC boys, California enemies off the top. For two, the Bulldogs, no matter where they go, they're still gonna be looked at as Northerners. Okay? Now, the only ones that know the difference are the ones that are from the West Coast or from California. They know the difference. But when you're in the feds and you find yourself in the Middle East or back east, they don't know the difference. All they know is you're all from California. Now, I done time in the feds. I just got out of the feds 5 years ago. So I know what's happening. And no, the Bulldogs ain't trying to program with the Nortenos like if we need somebody to program with. Okay? The Bulldogs are programming with the Nortenos because we are looked at as Nortenos. We are known to be Nortenos. Okay? We ain't got to jump on nobody's bandwagon. Yeah, we're programming and all that. Yes, Skip is doing a fine job if you ask me. You know, and I really respect him for what he's trying to do. You know, but nobody's making the Bulldogs do nothing. Bulldogs is still gonna be Bulldogs. Bulldogs can go wherever they want. If people don't like it, they can handle it. You know, that's plain and simple. It's always been like that. Now, if you want to program with the Bulldogs are program with you. Okay? If you want drama, they'll give you drama. No, they ain't deep in the feds, but there is some in the feds. And they'll handle their business. You know. Yeah, there's a lot of Northerners. There's some high power Northerners that got to the feds and start kicking shit off and all that. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. I mean, but that's something that everybody's been doing that. You know. The feds ain't no country club like everybody thought it was. You know, I was in the feds since 1990. So I know. And these guys, they go on YouTube and they talk like they know what they're talking about. Nah, they don't know what they're talking about. They're hearing what people got to say. People are telling them what they want to tell them. And they're chewing it up and telling stories like they know what's going on. And they don't. Haven't stepped one step in the feds. So you don't know what it's like. You just hear stories. You can tell him whatever you want to tell him, and he's gonna run with it and make a video. Like he knows what's going on, you know, and it fucks me up because this dude is supposed to be a dropout, supposed to be non-active, but he keeps saying us, homies, us, Northerners. You know, what is it? Either you're a Northerner or you're not, you know, but you keep referring to everybody like us, you know, and when you put the Bulldogs in your stories, you know, it's a whole different thing. Because you don't know nothing about the Bulldogs. All you know is what people tell you. And you run with it. You make a video and shit. You speak like if you were there. You know, the Bulldogs don't got to jump on nobody's bandwagon. But I'm going to tell you like this. When you find yourself in the Midwest and back east, and you find yourself up against 50, 100 DC boys, then all California's going to roll together. No matter what organization you're in. You know, that's why the feds are different. That's why the feds don't play the same stuff as the state does. Now, I done state time too. So I know what goes on in there too. And I was in Northeno way back in the 80s, okay? When the split happened, I became a Bulldog. I didn't drop out the Norteño. I didn't drop out because I was never clicked up in nothing. I was just a regular Norteño, and I was pushing, just like everybody else. When the split happened, I went with my homies, went with the Bulldogs, represent, just like everybody else from Fresno did. Now, it kind of blows my mind. This dude, he got so many stories about the Bulldogs. He don't know nothing about the Bulldogs. He even said it in his own videos. He never had no interaction with the Bulldogs. So how in the fuck does he know? He knows so much damn shit. Because somebody called him and told him a story to blow his skirt up and made his fucking chonies wet. Fucks me up. So that's why I'm putting out this video. Because this dude keeps talking about the Bulldogs. Nah, the Bulldogs ain't jumping on nobody's bandwagon. Bulldogs is rolling with Cali in the feds, just like everybody else. Now, when you've been there, you'll know. It becomes a state thing, not no hood thing, a state thing. Blacks, whites, Mexicans, border brothers. If you're from California, you got enemies in the feds. Okay? You find yourself back in Lewisburg, where I was at, and you'll fucking know. Motherfuckers hate California. That's why the feds are different. Not because somebody got there and they start kicking shit off. Nah, that ain't the reason why. It's been getting kicked off. Just on a different level. It's on a state level. Not a hood level. Not a northern or a southern California level. On a state level. Now, as I was in the feds, we were getting busy with Texas. Texas didn't like us. They had their own little mafia, and California boys didn't like that. Even though we weren't all from Southern California, they wasn't pushing it like California was pushing it. Nobody was pushing it like us. Only one that was giving us some fucking heat was DC boys. And that's because everybody in DC that commits a crime goes to the federal system. DC don't have a state prison. So the feds is full of DC boys. And they try to push their weight around. So everybody from California has to join forces. Not because anybody wants to kick it with somebody or program with somebody. That ain't the reason why. Now, you want to get some real stories about the feds? Go to the feds. You'll see the difference. Other than that, why speak on the feds so damn much? Because somebody got there and they kicked something off in Sheridan. I kicked it off in Sheridan in 1993. I was pushing that shit. I was pushing the northern shit, but I was still a Bulldog back then. F-14 Bulldog. 100%. I know what happened when the split occurred. I know all that. I was in it. But yeah, somebody got to the feds and kicked something off. That's been happening. It's been happening on a different level. Only difference is we weren't rushing the Southsiders. We weren't rushing the Crips or the Bloods. We was rushing Texas and DC and the East Coast and Florida and any other state that wanted to get with that, get some action. It ain't like the Bulldogs just trying to find somebody to program with, or they trying to find the Bulldogs program. No, you ain't got no choice. You gotta join forces in the feds. California ain't the only ones with people about the business. The whole country got people with the business. So all these stories about the Bulldogs programming with the Northerners, that's why they're programming with the Northerners. That's why. It's because you have other states that don't like California. What's so hard to understand that? It ain't like somebody wants to be friends with somebody. Nah, you have to. You have to, or you're gonna get chopped up. So I dig the stories that you tell about, people getting whacked and somebody kicking something off. That's all cool. They doing what they're supposed to do. But as far as programming, because somebody wants to be cool and program, and it's a whole different story in the feds. Whole different story. You got people from other states that you won't even think of that are in there with the business. Other countries, not in Mexico, not Canada, countries across the oceans, with the business. You know, cartel people with the business. Colombians, Cubans, which every damn Cuban is in the federal system. And we got off with them too, way back in the day. So don't try to make it like the Bulldogs looking for somebody to program with, or the Northerners are programming with the Bulldogs. You know, it ain't like anybody wants to be friends. Yeah, you get to know people, you get to liking people, and end up being cool with people. You know, and that's how other bullshit stops. Because when push comes to shove, you got each other's back just for being from California. Then you learn a whole different side of people. You start to respect people. And then you start to kick it with people. You know, it ain't like anybody needs somebody to kick it with or needs somebody to program with when they get to the feds. It ain't like that. Nobody needs nobody. But in order to be strong, we had to roll together. California has to roll together. You know, you find yourself in Michigan somewhere and there's only 10 California boys. Yeah, you guys are gonna be cool. Because when you're that far away from home, shit, a dude from San Jose and a dude from LA, when you're that far away from home, shit, it's nice to see somebody close to home. That's why you roll together. Not because somebody needs somebody to program with. Nah, you're so far away from home, you ain't got nobody out there but your enemy from over here. So in order to be comfortable, you're gonna have to roll side by side, or you're gonna get chewed up. Now, with that being said, you know, get your stories right. Don't believe everything you hear. People just blowing your skirt up so you can tell a video. Then you add your own little salt and pepper, and you try to blow the video up. That being said, hit the like, subscribe, comment. I'll get back to you. Have a good night. Peace.